If you're browsing Amazon for rear Jeep bumpers, you'll see a variety of options. Of the more affordable bumpers out there, you'll probably notice Hook Road has the better looking ones. If you've seen the other Jeep installs I've done, you already know that Hook Road has been a big support for this channel by supplying a full kit for this 2019 Jeep transformation. And it just so happens they released a new rear bumper mid-project. I already had one from them that I installed, but this new one improves on a few aspects based on feedback from both myself and many other customers. The parking sensors that pointed down now properly point straight out. The bumper wraps around the corners of the body more, providing better protection. It has a new license plate holder, which is very welcome, and it also accommodates a taller tire better. Though in our case, we're using tires that are much wider, so they're a 35, 12.5, and we still needed the spare tire mount adapter, simply because the new tire was too wide. Had nothing to do with clearance on the bumper though. I also think the overall look of the new bumper design is much better. When you're ready to order yours, it would mean the world to me if you'd consider using my affiliate link below to make your purchase. It's by far the best way to support my channel, and huge thanks to everyone who does. So I pulled that first bumper off so we can show off the newest bumper in the Hook Road catalog. For a detailed explanation on how to remove the original factory bumper, please watch the first part of the previous bumper install. That video goes into detail on how to remove your OEM bumper. To pull this bumper off though, it's just a few bolts and disconnect the wire harness. Once the bumper is off, remove the parking sensors from the mounts and pull the harness off the bumper. If you've seen any of my other Hook Road videos, you'll know that Hook Road parts come well packed, surrounded by foam. That said, as a DIY installer, don't be a victim of someone else's neglect. Always keep some satin black paint and a mallet around in a chance of poor handling during shipping. If you're experienced in your own installs, then the paper directions may be enough, but this video will make the process easier to follow. The only real prep you need to do to the bumper before install is to install the parking sensor harness. This is easy. Just set the sensors in the holes and use the backing plate to hold them in place. Now this is also a good time to wire up the reverse lights to some kind of plug for easy connect and disconnect, just like the parking sensors have. These reverse lights can be connected to a switch panel or tied in directly to the factory reverse light wiring. Let me know if you'd like a video on how to do that specifically, tapping into the OEM harness for the reverse lights. I couldn't easily find a plug-and-play adapter for the license plate light, so I simply pushed the wires into the OEM plug and used my fancy Tessa tape to hold them in place. This isn't exactly the professional way to do it, but I didn't want to cut the factory harness, and I've used this tape for a long time and I know it's amazing quality and it'll hold for a very long time. I would not trust cheaper off-brand harness tape for something like this. You can get Tessa tape on Amazon, also included in my affiliate links below. One thing that happened to me that could happen to anyone really is this nut inside the frame that is supposed to self-grab to the frame when you're threading in the bumper bolts. It stopped grabbing, it was just spinning in place, so I grabbed my small flux core welder and tacked that nut in place so I wouldn't have any more issues threading bolts in and out. That might sound a lot more intimidating than it really is, and maybe you could get creative with some vice grips to be able to hold that in place if you run into the same issue. But keep in mind, a small flux core welder on Amazon is often $100 or less, so always keep that in mind as an option. It can be done alone, but I do recommend having a friend to help you when mounting up the bumper. My fiance stepped in and made this much easier. After you tap in the included spacer plate between the bumper frame and tighten down all the bolts, you can bolt on the included recovery shackle mount. Finish it all off by installing your license plate and zip tie up all the wires. Then enjoy your new bumper. If you have any questions at all, please let me know in the comments or send me a DM on Instagram. Always happy to help. Thank you all so much for watching. See you on the next one.